How do you explain the problem of evil in the Bible? The problem of not in the Bible, just in life. The problem of evil. That's one of the most difficult. In fact, like theologians like John Lennox actually said, it can't be answered. Why we suffer? Why humans actually suffer? The reason behind our suffering. That was the time that was this hurricane that actually happened, and in Asia that actually killed about 500,000 people in a couple of hours. So why would that happen? It is just a natural disaster, Some things are beyond our power.
You're sure some things are beyond us?
Earthquakes also.
That presupposes that there is a force
that is beyond our nature, beyond our power.
Yeah, which is God. Which is God.
Okay, all right. Why would God do that?
It wasn't God that did it. You said nature, and now you're saying that there are forces. There is a force.
Do you think God has power over nature?
He created it.
But why would you allow that to happen?
So why would you, for instance, choose to go befriend Seun Kuti or come interview me or go to Professor Wole Soyinka? Why?
I find most people fascinating. A lot of I'm interested in the way people think. Why people do what they do. It is where I started my podcast. It is where I find pleasure in finding things out. Just knowing something. It is I could if there is a room filled with the secret of the universe, and I can actually lock myself in that room without access to anyone to the end of my days, I would. Without any hesitation, without any doubt, I would take the opportunity right now. Because I find pleasure more than anything in finding things out, in understanding, in knowing things. I find pleasure in that I can actually know something, which actually expands the perimeter of my ignorance. Because the more you find things out, the more you actually understand that you know nothing. The more you know nothing. There are a lot of things that you don't know, and there are a lot of things that you might even never know. And I find pleasure in that. That is why I meet people like Seun Kuti. I meet people like always I chat with Yellow Show sometimes.
Now all these people you are mentioning, they are great people.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah.
And we're proud to have them as Africans and as Nigerians. Yeah. I must let you know that sometimes we may not even have answers to all the questions in the world. And I said God is sovereign. Now, there is nature, and it is governed by the laws that govern nature. For instance, geography, volcano. There is volcanic eruption. Do you understand? And then people live around that area and it kills them. Look at Nigeria. There are places that when God created those places, they were supposed to be river, ocean. What do? We go there, we sandfill, and sandfill. Until we have houses there. And then one day, God forbid, something happens. I would say, God, why did you allow this? Why did you allow that? And all that. I'm not saying that's the reason for Katrina or all the other whatever. Nature, the galaxies, the universe keeps on expressing itself, expanding and all that. And when things like that happen, we learn again. For instance, in America, you learn, okay, this is not where to build our houses. This is how to build our houses. We move on, and it doesn't mean that it's God that killed them.
But why does God actually allow that to happen? Why does God actually allow that to actually happen?
He gave us wisdom. He gave us brain.
But we can't. There is nothing we can do to control the tectonic plates. That will always be till the end of time. Till the end of this planet, that there will always be earthquakes in California. There is nothing anyone can actually do about that. We can't control the planets. We can't do that,
Somebody controls it. You are now admitting that there is a God.
I'm not saying there is actually a God, but I'm not saying.
Woo! Really?
I don't know if there is one. But why would God allow that? That's the problem of evil in the Bible.
So excuse me, if you say there is no God, so why are you now blaming it on God? Why would God allow it? I thought you said there is no God.
You believe in God.
So I believe in God. But if you don't believe in God, why are you saying it was God? The God you don't believe in, the God that is not existing.
I do not actually I do not actually believe that a God do not actually exist. That's an active belief system. I can't actually say for certain that there is no God, because there is no way I can actually prove that. And that could be a God. There is no way to actually prove
now
that.
Now we're coming home. Little by little. Because if there is no God, then why would somebody blame God for what happens in California?
I'm not blaming him, I'm just saying that. What if you actually ask me that? Why does tectonic plates actually shift? Because I would say, why does earthquake happens? Why does volcanoes actually happen? I would actually say we live in a world. We live on a planet that's actually cooling. That is not fully formed. That is not habitable to human life. Like 73% of the world is filled with oceans. With salt water. That is actually a chance. If God actually existed, that's actually a chance for God to actually give us unlimited water supply. And then He puts salt in it. We can't actually drink from the ocean.
And give us the brain to put it together and be able to bottle the water.
But for how long?
And be able. Fantastic. See the majesty of the aircraft in the air. See the majesty. You get on Emirates. You can take your shower at 7,000 feet above sea level. See that. See the majesty of the shark. See the majesty of the serpent. See the lion, the king. See all these. And most of these things are tamed by man or created by man. The world stands in innovation for creators. I'm sure God is happy in heaven because we are displaying His majesty. Look at these gadgets. Look at these gadgets. First in somebody's thoughts, and now as a thing, because we all know in psychology that everything is created twice. Look at how you left Lagos and you got here. You didn't trek. God created us for His pleasure, gave us the brain, and with that brain, we are manifesting to His own glory. We are in charge. Yes, once in a while we see volcano, we see this and that, but we're still in charge. We have dominion. Look at the zoo. Look at what we have been able to create.
But we've been on the planet humans have been on the planet for about 8,000 years. And just look at the MRI machine, like for example, like a magnificent machine that can actually or that can actually help you solve the problem of cancer. Like there is no cure yet, but look at the years. Years it actually took us to actually get there. I can actually imagine when I think about the early humans, they actually slept and didn't actually know what the world was like. They actually thought on that and actually eat, that when humans were first giving birth, their children, actually suffered. They didn't know what diseases were. They didn't know what germs were. They just died in droves, And up to this moment, right now, for example, we can't actually cure cancer. And I'm very sure by the time we actually finally cure it, maybe in some 10 years or some 15 years, by the time we actually cure cancer, people will actually give God the glory. The Christians will actually give God the glory. That, well, God actually made us. But why do we actually suffer this much pain? To actually get to this level of actually fixing things, For years and many years, for years and years, like humans actually move close, like in the Sahara Desert always had life, sometimes at some point had water, and it just dried up. Just look at those that would have died at that moment. Why do we have to actually suffer for this long? To actually get to a point that we can actually solve the problems ourselves without actually needing God to actually solve it for us.
Process of growth. Why is it that when you give birth to a child, the child is not an adult immediately?
Yeah, that is because humans, because evolution actually favored early our brains were larger before, and evolution favored animals with people smaller brains. It actually favored smaller brains, and when when you look at this in contrast to other animals and their ability to actually spring up. a sheep will actually care for itself in about 2 weeks. A sheep, a babe, a goat will actually stand up about the second day, but not for humans, because we have to give birth early because of larger brains.
Oluwagbemega.
I'm explaining it.
Oluwagbemega. Oluwagbemega. The human brain, the storage, can take 6 million years of Wall Street Journal.
No, I'm not that smart. I'm not that smart.
God created us, gave us a free will, gave us a brain, gave us everything we need to create anything we want. This table used to be wood or tree. The power of transmutation, energy. And then it transmutated and became wood. Transmutated and became paper. Who knows what it can become again? God is amazed at how we are using our brains. And then you're telling me it's pain, it's taking us years, it's taking us.
I have someone that actually lost his mom to cancer. I have someone recently that actually died, a man that actually lost his child. He actually lost his child because
it's pathetic that people are dying. But let's analyze the causes of cancer. Most of the cancers that we have, God gave us natural food, and then we carry this food, we begin to can. We add chemicals. The people that die of cancer, it's not their fault. Sometimes it's what they found on the shelves that they bought. Some of these things that we eat, some of them have expired, some of them have been on the sea for 3 years, for 3 months, and all that. And these people are not aware. They just eat. Human beings.
We have a contribution also. What about other animals? Animals also have cancer,
What do they eat? We give them the same food. You go to Walmart, you go to McDonald's, you go everywhere, and then you buy cat food, canned, everything. The people that lived very long, were they not eating natural, Look at us. We create 5 Alive, create this. We will even take the apple, we squeeze life out of it. Look at goats. Goats will eat the orange and eat the back, and eat purple and eat the back. We will peel it away. And she be bad mojo alone, Lord. Most cancers are caused by what we eat. It's the fact, it. So will God be running down from heaven, go to Asia, Emma Jemo, stop eating that one. He will go to Africa, stop eating that one. He gave us our brains that can take whatever. So we can't afford to blame God.
All right.